Good morning, students. Last week I have explained you two literary terms, novel and short story. And today I am going to explain you another literary term, paradox. The word paradox is derived from the Greek word paradoxon, which means contrary to expectations, existing belief, or perceived opinion. Now, what's the definition of paradox? Paradox is a statement that appears to be self contradictory or absurd, yet turns out to have a valid meaning. In other words, a seemingly contradictory, unbelievable, or absurd statement that can be explained or shown as true. A paradox is often used to make a reader think over an idea in innovative way. Now, to make the term more clear to you, I'll try to explain it to you with the help of examples. Suppose if I say, the end is the beginning. Now, seemingly it is an absurd or contradictory statement. But actually, if I'll explain it to you, this means like after the end of school life, your college life begins. Or like after third year, your graduation course will end, but you can start with something new in your life. So in this way, this is a paradoxical statement. The end is the beginning. Similarly, if we say less is more, again this is a paradox. Or winning is like losing sometimes. Again this means it has meaning like sometimes we win, but we have to pay for it in one or the other way. Another example, if I say you need to lose yourself to find yourself. Again this appears to be contradictory or absurd. But this means that although finding yourself is important, but it doesn't really become complete until you lose yourself. So, we can say that we can conclude a paradox is often used to make a reader think over an idea in innovative way. Then, if I give you example from literature. In literature, paradox is not just a clever or comical statement or use of words. Paradox has serious implications. It has serious meanings because it makes statements that often summarize the major themes of the work they are used in. Now, here I am giving you an example from George Orwell's novel Animal Farm, which is also in your syllabus. In this novel, one part of the cardinal rule is this statement. I am quoting it. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Now, this appears to be self-contradictory, meaningless. But this statement actually has a very deeper meaning. On closer examination, it becomes clear that Orwell actually wants to point out a political truth. The government in the novel claims that everyone is equal, but it has never treated everyone equally. It is the concept of equality stated in this paradox that is opposite to the common belief of equality. Now, another example I am giving you from William Shakespeare's famous play Hamlet. In this play, the protagonist Hamlet says, I quote, I must be cruel to be kind, unquote. Now, this announcement does not seem to make any sense. How can a person be kind and cruel at the same time? It sounds absurd. However, Hamlet is talking about his mother and how he intends to kill Claudius, his uncle, to avenge his father's death. This act of Hamlet will be a tragedy for his mother, who is going to marry Claudius, his uncle, after his father's death. But Hamlet does not want his mother to be the beloved of his father's murderer any longer, and so he thinks that the murder will be good for his mother. Now, why we use paradox? The function of literature is to make the readers enjoy reading. Readers enjoy more when they extract the hidden meanings out of the writing rather than something presented to them in an uncomplicated manner. Thus, the chief purpose of a paradox is to give pleasure. Now, in poetry, the use of paradox is not confined to mere wit and pleasure. Rather, it becomes an integral part of poetic diction. Poetic diction means poetic language. Poets usually make use of paradox to create a remarkable thought or image out of words. For example, I am quoting here lines of John Donne. This poem, Death Be Not Proud, is also in your syllabus. And the lines are like this: one short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. So again, these lines, they appear absurd, that how death can die. But actually, death does not kill us. This is what Donne wants to convey. He wants to tell us that we become independent of death. It is death which itself dies when we are free from the cycle of birth and death. Clint Brooks says that the language of poetry is the language of paradox. Some types of paradox in poetry are meant to communicate a tone of irony to its readers, as well as lead their thoughts to the immediate subject. Paradox in most poems normally strives to create feelings of intrigue and interest in readers' minds, and to make them think deeper and harder to enjoy the real message of the poem. So we use paradox for creative thinking, for critical thinking, and for thinking outside the box. So these are the uses of why we use paradox. So students, that's all for today.